Happy birthday, Guido. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Lakeb's saying a lot here. Draymond's saying a lot. How about this with Draymond Green?
They need to do a podcast together.
Yeah, well, Draymond Green on Club 520 podcast with Jeff Teague and his boys. This podcast
what does
actually
Club
pretty funny.
520 stand for?
Yeah, I don't know what it stands for, but Draymond Green was on the podcast, and he said this about the organization. This is just wild. And I got some thoughts on this. Just listen to Draymond Green here about the Warriors getting close to making a trade.
We was just about to make some trades last week, and I told them straight up, like, yo, that trade helped me. Like, it'll help me right now in my career these last couple years and stuff. But I've always spoke to y'all from a place of what's best for this organization. I won't stop now. Yeah. That's a bad trade. Like, don't do that trade. Like, I disagree with it, although it's going to help me right now.
Here it is. Let's play the entire. Here.
Regardless of how uneasy he was last year, regardless of how bothered he was, we built that organization.
That's a fact.
That organization was the laughing stock of the NBA.
That's a fact, bro.
And so in doing what we've done, there's still a care for the organization. Like, we was just about to make some trades last week, and I told them straight up, like, yo, that trade helped me. Like, it'll help me right now in my career these last couple years and stuff. But I've always spoke to y'all from a place of what's best for this organization. I won't stop now. Yeah. That's a bad trade. Like, don't do that trade. Like, I disagree with it, although it's going to help me right now. Yeah. And so what Klay just did, and nobody will give him credit for it, what Klay just did is he just relieved this organization of the financial hardships that the organization was starting to face. Right? You're still doing for the organization. Yep. But nobody will say that. Nobody will say him leaving because they'll only make it about, he was unhappy.
Let me talk about the first part.
Let
me get in on the first part.
Right, go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
We made the organization. The organization was in crazy disarray before the greatest run we've ever seen. And just the way I view things, and people can take different approaches. Yes, the players get a bulk of the credit, but we can't act like proper management doesn't help sustain the situation. I think of places like Oklahoma City where they had dynamic players and they made certain decisions that were financially based, and they kind of sabotage themselves by moving off of a guy like James Harden.
Shot themselves in the foot.
Prematurely, right? And that's just one example. I think about different teams that can rise up, and because of their owner, we kind of know that they're capped at, and they're not gonna sustain that level. Dre and Steph and Klay and Iggy and what they did was wild. It was crazy. But you have to also give just some semblance of credit for the ownership group to put the infrastructure in place to continue to surround them with great players around them, to financially back them, to keep them all on the same page, to continue to dip into the luxury tax, to be able to finance the stadium that entire time and not see the roster take a hit because of the finances that are tied to the business operation. The players deserve the bulk of the credit. I'm not a very big chunk of the credit. But I just believe it's both. It's never one or the other. It's never just management, and it's never just the players. So I think both sides need to acknowledge the other side helping each other out. They lubricate each other.
I think he has. He's talked about Joe and Bob and Steve, and I won't give Draymond that. He has given them plenty of credit in the past. He's given Joe Lacob credit. He's given Steve credit. He's given Bob Myers credit. He's given this organization a lot of credit. So I will say that for Draymond Green. I don't think he hasn't. But in that specific stance, he goes, look, the players, we helped build this thing. And he's right. The players get the bulk of the credit. Without the players, you're not winning anything. I don't care how good the front office is.
Exactly.
You got to have talent on the court.
Exactly.
So they have given him credit. With that said, I don't know if Klay leaving to go sign with the Dallas Mavericks, if Klay was thinking about, I'm helping out the organization long term by leaving. I don't get that one because I don't think it had anything to do with Klay leaving. Just hearing from Joe Lacob, it just sounds like Klay wanted to leave because he wasn't happy.
When you're leaving,
Right.
Most people aren't like, let me make sure
Right.
everything's right with them.
Like Kevin Durant was ticked that the Brooklyn Nets did business with the Golden State Warriors when he left. So you got that aspect of everything. And then you got the aspect of Draymond Green saying that, hey, look, we were about to make a big trade last week. Now, if that was true or not, here's where I take an issue with that part of what he said. So he said they're in line to make a big trade last week, and he told them not to do it because it's going to hurt the organization long term, and it will help me right now, but it's going to help the. So, first of all, you can't be speaking on trades when a trade hasn't got done. So now, if you're Mike Dunleavy or Joe Lacob, and you're listening to this and you're saying, damn, we're trying to build some leverage here in a trade package. And you're already talking about we almost made a big trade. Now, whoever was on the opposite end of that big trade are thinking, oh, they were close to doing that, so let's stand pat. Not only that, with the leverage aspect of everything and why you're speaking on the big trade when it hasn't happened yet. It's like, whoa, that's not your lane. I'm not telling Draymond Green to shut up and dribble, but I'm saying they're trying to conduct business here with a big-time trade, and you're kind of letting it out the bag that, hey, we're almost made the trade. So if you almost made the trade, hold on one second, Shasky. So if you almost made the trade, now I go to teammates. I look at Summer League, and I see Looney, and I see Kuminga, and I see Pajemski, and I see all these guys sit next to each other or whatnot. I get it's a business. But how are these teammates supposed to feel when it's like, damn, were we on the way out? And we got Draymond Green not once but twice talking about trades. He talked about the Paul George trade, that they were about to do it, but the Clippers didn't want to do business. And then he said trades. So then if I'm Wiggins, and some people may say, well, forget Wiggins' feelings. We don't care about him. Forget Kuminga. He's a baby. Whatever. I mean, Draymond Green, if you're a teammate of Draymond Green's, how are you sitting there looking at that clip saying, damn, like, he's just openly talking about trades, and I could be on the chopping block. That one I didn't get. That's what I don't like.
No, and you're 100% correct. Have we not watched the Warriors for the last 2 years? Could I make an argument? Individual psyches on this team have had as much of an effect on play as any injury or suspension.
It's been up there.
Okay.
No doubt.
Whether it's Jordan Poole's psyche, and I'm not trying to go like Dr. Phil. I'm not trying to. I'm like clearly,
his psyche was done.
Clearly, like confidence and your standing within the locker room.
Right.
Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, Pajemski, like all these young impressionable players. If there's one thing that the Warriors of the last 2 years has taught me is that I know you always it's a business and this. Yes, it's a business.
Not just a business. No,
but
there's
it's
feelings
very
involved.
personal.
No, it is personal.
It's very personal, and these are real human beings who are very young still, and they have, egos, which we all have egos, and when those things are bruised and diminished, it's difficult to walk back into those scenarios, into those rooms, and have the same level of confidence. Like, how can you, in this scenario? Because we're talking about Kuminga and Pajemski. That's what we're talking about.
And a little bit of Moody,
it's one of those two,
maybe Wiggins, maybe Looney, but basically Draymond Green is sitting on the Club 520 podcast, and it almost seems like he, along with Dunleavy and Lacob, is running the show. It's like, multiple trades. And this is the second, and he brought this up on this podcast discussing Paul George. Now, we get it, but as a player, it's like, do you want to be in the mix of that and be in the middle of that saying that, hey, you know what? We're on the cusp of making big triple trades. And I said, man, we can't do that because it's going to cripple our future. It's like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Who's got a voice? Who's got the bigger voice? What's going on here? Well, I just that one doesn't sit right with me. And if you're a teammate of his, it's human nature to just be like, dude, I thought I was your dog, your teammate. I thought we were going to go win some basketball games together. And now you're making it seem like, man, you stopped me from getting traded to God knows where.
Well, and it makes it sound like he's got veto power on things. That's what I mean. Like, how else are you supposed to interpret it?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean,
if you're a player and you believe that, and this is part of the reluctance to team up with LeBron, is that if you go to LeBron's team, like LeBron will be the one shipping you out.
He's running everything,
right?
But he has a way of doing it to where his name's not over it.
Well, I know
he's on it, but he's not openly talking about it.
No,
Draymond Green's openly talking about trades.
Well, and it's LeBron.
Exactly.
Draymond's not LeBron.
No, he's not.
He's a very good player, but he's not LeBron, right? So this thing is, and look, the other part of this that I was thinking about was just in my head, all the young players. He's talking about, like, if he's saying, I vetoed a trade for this team. Or were they going to ship Dre out and he vetoed the trade because he wants to stay here?
Well, does he have a no trade clause?
That I don't know. But that's why,
he
bring it up? Because now it's all open for interpretation.
Right. So, I mean, he stopped the trade. The trade was probably going to be bad. But here's what he said. He didn't say the trade was going to be bad in the short term. Listen to what Draymond Green had to say with Jeff Teague and company on the Club 520 podcast.
We was just about to make some trades last week, and I told them straight up, like, yo, that trade helped me. Like, it'll help me right now in my career these last couple of years and stuff. But I've always spoke to y'all from a place of what's best for this organization. I won't stop now.
Yeah.
That's a bad trade. Like, don't do that trade. Like, I disagree with it, although it's going to help me right now.
So I want people out there to listen. He said these trades would have helped me right now. They would have helped me right now, meaning they're not bad trades right now. But long term, it would have stripped the Warriors of numerous picks and numerous young players. But he's basically telling us that they were going to make trades, not just one trade, trades, plural, to help, that would have helped him right now.
Well, he's such a team player, he said no because he cares about the organization long term.
It's unbelievable.
I just wouldn't say it out loud.
That's my whole thing.
You can have this power. This is what we're talking about, like
right.
Curry. And I believe Curry has, again, I'm not saying he's making every decision, but he has certain checks and balances.
Yep.
And I don't know to what degree. You can have those, but you don't talk about them so that they can be consumed over all the media, right. And then all your teammates are hearing that.
And then how do the fans feel? Because there's a lot of people on the social media saying, send the pics, send the pics, send the pics. The hell with the kids. Send the pics. Send the pics.
Well, now they're just mad at front office.
Are they mad at Draymond or are they mad at the front office? Now everything's on the table. It's like, whoa, we're negotiating in public? That's not how things get done. Let's go to Robin Sambruno.
I don't know why he's talking.
Robin Sambruno, what's happening?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, baby?
Yo, look, I told y'all a couple of shows ago I called and I said Draymond be brown nosing. Look, man. If my name not Steph Curry, and I'm other players in the locker rooms, man, Draymond an informant. Anything that he says, you say to him, it seems like he go back and kill ownership. He's too close for ownership. At the end of the day, Draymond Green, you're not Steph Curry, you're not LeBron James. You are a glorified role player. That's what you are. Why he's acting like he's the best thing since sliced bread? Like I said, if I'm his teammates, I'm tripping. Because if I'm not Steph Curry, everything's going on Draymond. Like Draymond's word means everything in that organization. That's a problem with me. It was funny to me how they gave him money. This dude gets suspended, beaten up, all type of stuff, sued, fighting people, all type of stuff. You got players in the league that got kicked out the league for minor stuff, but this dude untouchable. So at the end of the day, if I'm his teammate, I can't trust dude. He's an informant. If I say something bad about Jacob, the owner, if we just talking, like say me and you talking, but work together, Monte, and we talking, we just talking nonsense about the leadership. And I go run back and tell him, how you gonna feel about me?
Not good.
You see what I'm saying?
Not good.
So to me, Draymond just admitted that he's getting in the way of people's money. And we all knew about the Kevin Durant situation. We won before you. Like, dude, you in your feelings like I'm not gonna say you in your feelings, bro. And at the end of the day, the best thing the Warriors can do, if I'm Steph Curry, I'm getting out of there. But if I'm the Warriors, Draymond got to go. Because to me, that's unacceptable. You even said, like Shasky said, don't come out and say that. You got diarrhea at the gums right now. You don't know how to keep your tongue in part. So at the end of the day, it's about that time. You got to go. It's becoming crazy right now. And I feel bad for Wiggins and all them dudes who getting a bad rep out here. Look what they got to deal with. Yeah,
that can be a comfortable feeling. I'm just thinking like.
Well, I'm thinking about you.
Thinking about
what about
I'm
you?
Thinking about it.
You're on a podcast, okay?
No doubt.
And they're like, Bonte's like, I had personnel decisions on my show, and like that's how Stephen A did to Max, basically.
Yeah, I know. Which is
Max Kellerman.
I lost a lot of respect for Stephen A for that.
But basically, he was like, I got him up out of here. But if like Bonte was like, I could have worked with other people. But I said, nah, that's not good for me long term. It's good for me in the short term. No. In the long term, I'd be like, damn, Bonte has control over my employment.
That is.
It would change the work dynamic between you and me.
And now look, Kuminga and Pods and all these guys, they understand it's a business. They understand that. Andrew Wiggins, they understand it's a business. But, boy, I feel some type of way. I feel some type of way when one of the players on the team is talking about, yeah, we got close to making trades. Trades, plural. And it's just like, wait a minute. If I'm done leaving a company, it's like, we don't need that out there. We don't need that out there that we were close to the finish line. The fans are already going nuts. The lunatic fringe is already going nuts. Now all of a sudden we gotta get this gasoline. We gotta get it under control. We gotta get to
we got 10 days until the Lowry Marketing thing is either going to be a 6-month wait or not. If it has to wait 6 months, let's say he signs in the next 7 or 8 days with Utah, and then that buys them 6 months of time. How many podcasts is he going to allude to trades that could have, would have, should have happened?
I don't know. Is
this the modern athlete, though? Are we the ones out of touch?
I don't know. I'm
This is too much for me.
Before shameless shout out to 10 minutes. We'll get to Paul in Washington.